So with Mists of Pandaria Classic around the corner, I've taken some time and tried out Mists of Pandaria before the expansion comes out to find out is it actually worth trying and should you consider playing Mists of Pandaria Classic. Now I've probably sunk in about 20 days of played time, which would be about 500 hours of actually playing this game, like 24 hours multiplied by 20. I'm just gonna add another 20 hours on top there because I believe I've played the game quite a lot, and once again I've sunk about 20 days of played time into Mists of Pandaria now, and well, I have some thoughts about the expansion that I kinda wanna share with you guys. I guess this will be a review based on me having played the expansion very recently, I mean even to this day still playing, and with Mists of Pandaria Classic coming out very soon, hopefully my experience can be helpful to some of you. Either way, let's get into it. So Mists of Pandaria brings with it a lot of good things for the game itself, and let's just go through the good things and then head into the somewhat less good things that I hope that Classic WoW will do something about, like the developers, because there's a couple of things that they really have the opportunity to change for the better for Mists of Pandaria Classic. Now, one of the first things that Mists of Pandaria does bring to the game is a brand new class, the Monk class, and also, at the same time, Pandarians. So we get a brand new race that can be both Alliance and Horde. Basically, you level up to about 15, I believe, you complete the starting area, right, and then you choose a faction, either Horde or the Alliance, and Pandarians can be several classes, including Monk. Now, if you don't want to be a panda, like many different races can be pandas, I believe every single race except for goblins and worgens can actually be pandas, so you can be a human can be a monk, there we go. So if you want to be a human monk, you can. If you want to be a gnome monk, you can. If you want to be an orc, you can do that as well, right? So you don't have to be a Pandarian monk. Either way, Mists of Pandaria brings with it both Pandarians and monks, and the thing is, monks can be both DPS, tank, and a healer. And like, I'm a little bit biased here, I've been maining a monk for the longest time, and it's been one of my top 2 classes in roughly every single expansion after Mists of Pandaria as well. Now, leveling a monk feels great. Like, first of all, you get 50% experience bonus pretty much all the time. You get one every 10 levels, and you also get one from a daily quest every single day, so you level up basically 50% faster. If you combine that with heirlooms, you will level up very fast, and you will basically never run out of 50% experience boost, which once again just simply helps you level up even faster. Now, when it comes to Mists of Pandaria, I don't think a lot of people are watching this video to learn about leveling, so let's skip ahead to the endgame and talk about actual Mists of Pandaria content coming out at level 85+, or more specifically, level 90 as well. The first big thing that should be coming out at some point in Mists of Pandaria will be the Raid Finder, which was obviously meant to come out at Dragon Soul in Classic WoW Cataclysm, but they decided not to. Now, in Mists of Pandaria, the Raid Finder is scheduled to come out. We don't really know for sure yet if it's going to be there at launch or at some other date, but for me, the Raid Finder at this point would be a huge benefit to the game itself, and there's many reasons for this, but it's mainly having the ability to do the raid even if you don't have a guild. And let's just say you just want to do the raid, get some loot, you don't have the best gear in the world, instead of like throwing in a pug, you can do Raid Finder to number 1, just queue up for a raid from nowhere. Like, you can do your daily quest, queue up at the same time, get into the raid, get some loot, get some trinkets, and be even better prepared for normal raids at a future time. It is also a great way to gear up alts, for example, that once again you don't have a raid team with, and it becomes difficult to pug normals. Well, looking for raid is right there to save you, and once again allow you to gear up and, well, prepare yourself for harder raids in the future. So when it comes to gearing up as well and doing raids, we also have something called bonus rolls in Mists of Pandaria, which, even if you don't get loot on this boss right here, it allows you the chance to roll for something called bonus loot. And this is basically something you can do every single week to give you a currency that you can then spend on bonus rolls to get more loot. If you're hunting for certain items that you didn't get, you can simply use the bonus loot to like give you one more chance at loot as well. So for example, in this case right here, I just got a weapon from this boss, but I was also looking for the actual tier token. So I'm just going to look at the dungeon journal, look at the drops here, and both the ring and those leggings would be huge upgrades for me. So I'm rolling with the bonus coin here to get another drop from the same boss. In this case, that was the ring, but the ring is still a very good upgrade for me. So I got both a weapon and a ring from that same boss. Now, when it comes to acquiring those bonus roll tokens as well, it's basically based on you doing both daily quest and using the currency you're getting from your daily quest in a weekly quest to give you the currency for bonus rolls. It sounds complicated, but trust me, it's very simple. Like, once again, lesser charms you get from doing daily quests, and you can turn lesser charms into elder charms on a weekly quest as well, and then you simply spend those elder charms on bonus rolls. And like, if you don't want to get raid finder loot, you can simply do the world bosses. So you have Shaw of Anger in Kunlai Summit, and you also have the Galleon or Salius's Warband in Valley of the Four Winds. They give you really good loot, and you can then spend 2 bonus roll tokens every single week and give you normal raid equivalent loot. Like, looking here, going to raids, we can take a look at the world bosses in Pandaria, and we can take a look at, for example here, Salius's Warband, dropping 496 item level loot, and Shaw of Anger drops a bunch of PvP items, but also the set bonuses. So you can, for example, get these hands right here, and also the legs. So hands and legs PvE, and the rest is PvP. Now, at some point in Mists of Pandaria Classic, you will also get the ability to upgrade your loot. So for example here you can see upgrade level 2 out of 2, and this one has upgrade level 0 out of 2. You can then visit this NPC right here in the shrine, and you can put your item into this slot and upgrade your item spending Valor points to upgrade the loot that you already have. This is something that will not be available from the start, at least it shouldn't be, and it typically came out in patch 5.1, which should be in the equivalent to phase 2. So starting in phase 2, you will have the option to start upgrading your gear all throughout Mists of Pandaria, and this kind of gives you a reason to farm Valor points every single week, which might not sound like a good thing, but to me it actually is. It simply means that you will get more people actually doing content instead of just raid logging. So people will be doing both challenge modes for Valor points, heroic dungeons for Valor points, raid finder sometimes for Valor points as well, and scenarios for, once again, Valor points. In addition to that, in Mists of Pandaria, we're getting a talent system revamp, which instead of having the old system that we actually used to have, you now get 1 talent every 15 levels, and the talent you choose has a much bigger impact on your actual gameplay. For the most part, you will have options between both passives and actually usable abilities on every single line, allowing you to choose whether you want to have more abilities to actually press, or if you just want to get passively better as well. So for example, Feline Swiftness is a passive movement speed increase, meanwhile Displacer Beast would be an active, pressable ability with a cooldown that could be way better in certain scenarios. Likewise, Ysera's Gift is a passive, you don't have to do anything, it just passively heals you over time. Meanwhile, Revival has a 2-minute cooldown, but could be way better in certain scenarios, like for example PvP, when you really want to have something that actually saves your character. This right here is massive, and it's a huge survivability cooldown that you have access to. And the thing is, this talent here, to me, like this system, is a very good update. It simply means that your class gets a little bit more streamlined, but once again, the changes are massive. If you go between Displacer Beast and Wild Charge, it's a pretty big, it's a very big difference. And this right here, Displacer Beast, is basically a blink, so you can now have blink as a druid, but also Wild Charge, you can use it as a non-shapeshift to fly to an ally's position, which could be the same as a blink, but at the same time not really. Travel form, you leap forward, Moonkin form, you bounce back. It's a way to, like, maybe if you have to jump over certain things in raids, you can do that. You can avoid mechanics using both Wild Charge and Displacer Beast. Likewise, you have Force of Nature versus Incarnation, and then you also, for example, have Typhoon knocking enemies back versus Mass Entanglement, rooting them in place. So every single, choice that you have feels like it's a pretty important choice that you are taking. And when it comes to talents, to me, like, the way people are talenting now anyway, you're simply looking at a guide, looking for the best talents, and you copy that guide with the best talent. So to me, the whole discussion about having so many options in the old system, it gets thrown out when everyone copies the same spec anyway. So to me, this right here is just, it simplifies everything, and you can now play the game without using a guide, and it's just like, it feels easier. Either way, I love the system because like every single talent or every single row focuses on something. So the first row for druids, for example, focuses on player movement, where you either have movement speed, a teleport, or this one. Then the next one focuses on self-heal, so all of these are basically self-heals, and this one can also heal somebody else. So either a self-heal or a way to heal other people. Then you have one for movement impairing effects, so you can either slow them down, like one by one, you can knock them back, you can root them in place. Then you have a DPS cooldown, then you have a CC, like here you have Disorienting Roar, Ursol's Vortex or a stun, and then you have another DPS cooldown. Overall, in my experience with these talent changes and the class changes that we have, every single class simply feels easier to play and also feels smoother to play, if that makes sense. It just smoothens out the class, it fleshes out the class, and it makes it so that your weaknesses are now fixed in a way. Meanwhile, your strengths may be enhanced as well, so certain classes or certain specs will still be very good at certain things, like Boomkins for AoE are absolutely insane, and now you have Typhoon allowing you to AoE knockback, or Mass Entanglement allowing you to AoE root as well, just further enhancing those AoE capabilities that Druids actually have, or have had in the past and still have now as well. Every single class that I've played so far, they just feel better. I don't really have any other words to use here, they simply feel better to play. Also, I might be in the absolute minority here, but that is absolutely fine. I am very much looking forward to the pet battle system that we're getting in Mists of Pandaria. I am still a little bit like interested to see what Blizzard will do here, considering we have a couple of battle pets that we haven't had in the past, with the addition of epic editions and rare editions to like the expansion that we have. So TBC Deluxe Edition, for example, brought with it a battle pet that we haven't had before. Likewise, the 6-month sub bundles have also sometimes introduced battle pets that we didn't have in the past, so right now we have a couple of companions that don't really have a battle pet profile. So I'm a little bit interested to see what Blizzard does here. Are we getting brand new battle pets? And if so, are they going to be good or bad? And to me, like, having the whole battle pet system, it just adds more gameplay, and it adds more optional gameplay. This system right here, if that looks terrible to you, it's not something you have to interact with, but you can, if you want to. And to me, like, having more options in the game is just a net positive. Also, I'm not gonna lie, Mists of Pandaria to me has some of the best content that the game has ever seen, and a lot of this content that I'm referring to here will not be available from launch, which actively gives me a reason to keep playing the entire expansion, and gives me a reason to stay engaged, plus keep gearing my characters to prepare for the patches that I really want to play. And for me, what I'm referring to here is the patch 5.2, Isle of Thunder, and also Siege of Orgrimmar. So basically, when those two raids comes out, both Throne of Thunder and the Siege of Orgrimmar, they are some of the best content patches that I have ever played throughout any expansion at any point. Throne of Thunder as well is one of the best raids ever that I only did on normal back in the day. I did a bunch of LFR and normal and started doing a little bit of heroic raids back then, but I never cleared the raid, and this time around I really want to clear the raid, and even maybe see the final boss on heroic, because that's a secret boss that was only available after defeating the final boss as well. So that could be really interesting, and once again, one of the best raids of all time, and to me that's really cool, just having something to look forward to outside of the launch of the expansion. Because we all know that the launch itself is going to be hype no matter what. I mean, if you're playing, that is the launch is going to be hype, but you really want to have a reason to stay hyped as well, and you want to have something to look forward to outside of the launch. And for me, Throne of Thunder and the Siege of Orgrimmar when Isle of Thunder and also Timeless Isle, those bits of content is absolutely amazing for a casual player or a semi-casual player, I guess, like myself. It feels good. And Timeless Isle as well, the dailies over there, plus the catch-up mechanics. There's so many good things coming out later in Mists of Pandaria that I'm looking forward to, and you should also be looking forward to. So with all of this said, we've covered a bunch of positive things so far. Let's talk about the one or two things that are a little bit more on the negative side that I'm really hoping that Classic WoW developers will do something about, but I will say, like, staying realistic here, they probably won't. Having seen what they did to Cataclysm, it seems like they don't really want to touch the expansions too much, and the only way, like in Cataclysm, the only really thing they did was to not give us Raid Finder. So the only thing they did differently was to not give us something. So how much time they will spend developing something to like fix the expansion or make it better, I don't really know if I would say that they are going to do something, but we can always hope, right? So number one here is going to be the legendary acquisition that we are getting in Mists of Pandaria, because in Mists of Pandaria, everyone will get access to a legendary, which starts out with a legendary game, a legendary gem early in the expansion, like literally phase 1. You can get yourself a legendary gem, and then every single patch after that you are continuing the legendary questline, which involves a bunch of grinding raids for example, Sigils of Power and Sigils of Wisdom, which will take you roughly 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks depending on luck, but basically you have to grind every single patch, and if you have alts, you will have to grind on those alts as well, and for now, there are no catch-up mechanics in Mists of Pandaria when it comes to getting the legendary cloak. So what I would love to see here is a way to get the legendary cloak faster on your alt if you have it on your main. Maybe even give us a vendor, so if you have gone through the legendary grind once, you can simply buy the like a gem or a cloak on your alts as well, because the legendary grind is an absolute, well, it's a grind, and it will take you a long time, so doing it on multiple characters feels incredibly bad. And then we have the second grind that feels equally as bad, the daily quest grind in Mists of Pandaria, that you are going to absolutely hate, no matter if you have one character, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't really matter. If you only have one character, you will at some point start absolutely hating these dailies, and that is because of the constant push for you to do these dailies. First of all, at the launch, you'll be doing them for reputation with every single faction. You have dailies with Golden Lotus, dailies with the Order of the Cloud Serpent, dailies with Shadowpan, dailies with the August Celestials, dailies with the Klaxine, dailies with the Anglers, and dailies with the Tillers. You will be spending so much time doing your dailies, and if you have 2 alts or 2 characters, well, guess what? You will now spend twice as much time doing those dailies, and you really want to do those dailies as well to unlock certain items, certain recipes, and even certain epic items as well. Then, when you are done and gotten your way to Exalted, you still might want to do these dailies for example, the Lesser Charms of Good Fortune and the Valor points. You're literally getting Valor points from doing dailies, so if you do 20 dailies per day, that is 100 Valor points every single day that you are getting on your characters. You also get Lesser Charms of Good Fortune, which you need 50 of every single week to turn them into an Elder Charm every single week to get bonus rolls. Now, when it comes to grinding reputation, Blizzard has actually, like, originally back in Mists of Pandaria, they have started working towards making this easier on alts, because when you get to Exalted or Revered on your main, you can then buy an like account bound token to double the reputation on your alts. So you do get reputation faster on your alts, but to me, doubling it simply isn't enough. You either have to give us more on our alts as well, like give us 300%, 400%, or something like that, or simply make reputation account bound, because trust me, in Mists of Pandaria Classic, you are at some point going to wish that reputations were account bound, even if that breaks your Classic WoW immersion or whatever. Like, to me, Mists of Pandaria has already gone so far past what is Classic. Giving us account bound reputations would simply be a net positive to the game itself, or at least I think so. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. Should reputations be account bound? Why or why not? I would love to see some feedback on that one. Either way, that's basically it. Like, I think Mists of Pandaria is going to be a great time for both casuals and hardcore people alike, especially if you're getting a Raid Finder. As long as we get Raid Finder, like, even casuals will be happy, and then hardcore people will still be really happy as well, because trust me, these raids are some of the best raids of all time. Even the beginning raids of the expansion, like if we go back here to Heart of Fear, Mogushan Vault, and even Terrace of Endless Springs, they are really good opening raids, and then we get Throne of Thunder and the Siege of Orgrimmar later down the line, which once again are two of the best raids of all time in my experience. So yeah, I think Mists of Pandaria Classic will be a very good time, as long as we throw the word classic out of the window and simply enjoy Mists of Pandaria for what it is. So at this point, if you have played Mists of Pandaria, let me know down below. Was it a good expansion? And if you haven't played, what are you looking forward to playing this time? Like, what excites you for Mists of Pandaria? Either way, that's it for now, so leave a like, leave a sub, and thank you for watching. Actually, one more thing. I have a gold making guide for Mists of Pandaria if you want to, like, learn more about making gold. In Mists of Pandaria Classic, you can check it out through the link down below in the video description. Right now, when you buy the guide, you also get the Cataclysm guide at the same time, so you effectively get 2 guides for the price of 1. Now, when you buy the guide, you also get exclusive access to videos that I'm not going to make public, and you also get early access to gold making videos in Mists of Pandaria Classic. Either way, with that being said, this is actually the end of the video, so once again, leave a like, leave a sub, and thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.